What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel, kicking it back to some tier list making. Today we are going to be updating the 3 Hinokami Chronicles tier lists that we have done for overall characters, ultimate tier list, and for the assists. We have the addition of Yahaba and Susamaru, and we're going to be ranking them on each of these 3 tier lists. As we see here, the tier lists are not going to change. They're not going to be updated from previous tier lists because we have not had any bound changes, updates, or anything like that. So this should be pretty easy, just adding them into the tier list. And we're going to start off with the overall characters. I have a decent bit to say about both these characters, so let's go ahead and hop on in. Before we get too far into this tier list, let's go over our next person for the season of giving, who commented on that that Twitter post. Well, quote tweeted. I'll accept that. That's perfectly fine. Our next YouTuber is Maverick. Now this guy is an insane Dokkan player, doing a bunch of different variety of content, doing super battle road runs, doing summons and things like that, and he dabbles a little bit in the legend scenes, as you can see. He does PvP videos, and he does a good portion of summons. He has lots of different summons, so you know he's out there, you know he's grinding up, you know he's supporting the game and doing everything that he can to get the units that he's looking for. And they're actually pretty hype. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty good ones. I watched the Trunks one up at the top. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. So if you guys are looking to add a new Dokkan content creator and a little bit of a Legends dabbler here into your guys' YouTube feed, please be sure to follow the links down below in the description, to head over to Maverick's channel to drop a subscription, and as well follow his Twitter in the link in the description with the links down below. Thank you Maverick for helping me assist with that Twitter post, and let's move on to the video. Thank you guys. So let's go ahead and start off with Susamaru. So before we just place her in a tier, the things that Susamaru excels at: she's got range, she's got good control, she's got great mobility. Her damage is very good with specific combos, but you have to go the extra mile to get yellow combos, like connecting a dash attack, connecting her guard skill, and things like that. She is definitely a character that I had a very bad first impression with, but the more that I played around with her and the more that I saw more tech with her, my opinion began to quickly change with this character. Overall, she's got 2 amazing demon skills, probably 2 of the best demon skills in the game, because it adds to her overall advantage. In her standing demon skill, the Flurry of Balls does so much damage. It's the highest damaging demon skill in the game. And it's a great combo ender. The other one is great it's an armor and mobility move that keeps you in the air and allows you to continue to extend air combos. They're fantastic. Overall, I poorly judged this character on her initial release. I will fully admit to that. She is leagues better than I ever thought she would be, but she does have some downsides, a lot of downsides. In an online-only play, a lot of her combos tend to be very finicky depending on the netcode, depending on how laggy it is. Her combos are very specific with timing, and that could very much be affected by the way online play is. There's no offline tournaments, there's no nothing going on, so we're all strictly in online, so this needs to be taken into effect. Not only that, the tracking on her ranged abilities can be pretty bad. She doesn't auto-correct, so if they start strafing to the right while you just start throwing, she will continue to throw in that one spot. So there's a lot that you actually need to do with this character, and a lot that you don't need to do with this character. She's great with snuffing out any oncoming advances, but she's also kind of bad if they're in your face. Like, she has all the negatives that you think a ranged character has, but sometimes not, sometimes she does. Overall, I was very wrong about Susamaru in my initial showcase video. The more tech that I learned after that video, this character is much better. How better she is? I believe that she is B tier, and it's mostly because of the faults that she has that she kind of can't control because of the online environment and the poor tracking on her abilities. Not only that without connecting a specific combo, her damage is really bad. which is fine because you don't want her range damage to be crazy, so that makes a lot of sense. Ultimately, she's a character that you do still need to put in a lot of work to like really manage and micromanage on the field, but you can get a lot of stuff done with this character. You can play the lane game very well with this character. The mobility that she has to continue to stay away from your opponent, advance in on your opponent, snuff out your opponent, definitely very strong. All it really boils down to is that she requires a decent bit of work to really see full advantage of, and unfortunately she suffers in this online environment. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the reason why I'm putting her in B tier. If there were actual offline where combos were more consistent, I would definitely consider putting her in A tier. She also takes a 1.15 damage multiplier, so she takes less damage than the rest of the demons, but it's still kind of high. So you got to be a little bit careful with it. Overall, very solid character with some shortcomings that really bog the character down in the current state of the game. Now we have Yahaba, and Yahaba does what Susamaru can do with keeping your opponent away, but even better. The arrows do not deal damage, and that was intentional because, you know, the way the character plays, and I think it's very unique. The only way that you can actually do damage is by using his initial skill to throw boulders or slamming them into the ground. That's a very unique way of doing damage, but keep that in mind. Both of his demon skills are actually pretty solid. He's got one of the best heavy attacks in the game if it actually did damage, but it still goes full screen and he can remain safe. His demon skills track from below, it comes from above. He's got coverage just about everywhere. But the problem with Yahaba is, in order to do any damage besides his down combo, you have to spend meter. And once you start spending meter, Yahaba without meter is essentially useless. He's not doing anything. Yes, he can continue to keep your opponent at bay, but that's pretty much it. That's all he can really do. This character is very unique, and I like the way he's constructed, and I do like the way that he's built. But unfortunately, while he's good at playing the keep away game, and unless you are willing to constantly boost and spend bar, he's not gonna really do any damage. He's got really good stuff, but taking 1.2 times the amount of damage and having to always constantly spend meter more than a Kaza to really do damage that's pretty rough. So overall, I think this character is really solid and very fun. He's a very fun and unique character. But I'm probably gonna put him in C tier. I do think he's strong and you can get good play out of him, but I feel like you need to put in more work with him than just about any other character. You know what I mean? So very strong, very fun, very unique character. I just think that too much work is needed for this character, and without bar and without boost, he's basically useless. You kind of need to keep stalling, and if they're really good at pressuring you and avoiding his bullshit, he's not going to get that opportunity. So for overall characters, Yahaba goes into C tier and Susamaru goes into B tier. Now let's move on to the ultimate tier list. Where are we placing Yahaba and Susamaru? Let's start off with Susamaru. This baby is a very strong A tier. I really like the effects. It starts off a little slow, but her summoning the ball, giving it that spin, that kick, the close-up, it's really nice. But the end of it doesn't have that oomph-ful CC2 explosion. You know, like I was expecting just a teeny bit more out of the explosion at the end, but you know what? It's nice. It's a very strong, very solid ultimate. Yahaba is, you know what? Hold on. I don't like this ultimate. I don't like Yahaba as a character, and this ultimate is just, I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me in particular. Like honestly, this is easily my least favorite ultimate in the game, and I get it. It's really hard to make like a flashy ultimate out of Yahaba using the arrows, but I definitely feel like they could have probably gone a little bit of the extra mile, but it is what it is. I don't like the ultimate at all. Personally, it still does look nice because it's CC2 and this game looks gorgeous, but I don't like it at all. Now, just like we did with Arui and Akaza, we're going to be ranking these two characters based off of their demon skills for the assist tier list. So, we're going to start off with Susamaru. Her first demon skill just is a flurry of balls. It doesn't track all that well horizontally, but when it connects, it does a lot of damage. And it's a very, very fantastic combo ender. Her second skill, we talked about this before, is the guard evaded skill where she throws out three different shockwaves that go different ways, and you can combo this into the air. These, easy. Now, even though the first demon skill it's very punishable if it's whiffed, it's very, very, very strong and very damaging. And if you get caught by even one, you're going to get caught by the rest of them. And it's very easy to link any of her, especially her tilt skill, the one that allows her to move around. It's very easy to combo that. It does a lot of damage. It's very strong. Her tilt skill where she jumps back, throws the shockwaves, is fully armored, and can continue to combo in the air. That shit is insanely strong as well. Gives her so much mobility and so much flexibility. Definitely some of the best demon skills in the game. Yahaba, so Yahaba I'm going to give A tier for his demon skill. His first one where you send the arrow, it sends him up and then down. That's a very strong skill. It's very fast. It's a very good combo starter. You can link it into the boulder tosses and things like that. Super fast, super strong, decent tracking. Not the best, but decent tracking. And then a second skill is a fully armored move that he can just shoot from the ground. Just straight up from the ground. These are very, very powerful, but the problem with the two of these is if your opponent is just running to the left or right, it's not going to work. They're not going to catch him. These are mostly used as combo extensions or trying to just catch your opponent off guard from sleeping, but they're super, super strong when it comes to and they're super, super strong when it comes to just continuing on combos or just catching your opponent asleep at the wheel. So very strong assist, very strong demon skills. Not quite S tier, but I do think they're very powerful. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to end the 3-tier list that we have. Susamaru is B tier. Yahaba is C tier for the overall characters. For the ultimates, Susamaru is an A tier. Yahaba is a measly C tier. And then further demon skills, Susamaru is S tier and Yahaba is A tier. And that's going to wrap it up for me on this one, guys. Thank you guys a ton for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya.